Hunters might finally be getting a buff, and I can see the Dr. Apocalypse incoming. For more news like this, stick around for this week's episode of This Week in Identity 5. Welcome back everyone to another episode of This Week in Identity 5. As usual, we're going to just talk about what happened last week. So, last week we got the final push event that is what happens every season at the end of the season, that is the week right before the new season starts. This is where you get 20% more logic points for every match that you do. You also get a 20% increased logic points limit, meaning that you can get more logic points during that week, along with being able to roll a higher dice number, guaranteed with the 20-sided dice, and other things like that. As of the day of recording right now, it is Valentine's Day, so happy Valentine's Day, guys. But because of Valentine's Day, you guys get an event as well. And the Valentine's Day event came along with this patch. If you complete the event quests, you'll be able to claim Valentine's Day rewards. These ones are rewards for patient. That is a portrait and a portrait frame, I believe. But sadly, you can't get Ada's one, that is psychologist. You have to buy it. There is a Velvet Flowers package that is available for 288 echoes, or I think you can buy them separately. You can buy the portrait for her for 288 clues or 188 fragments, and the portrait frame as well. I'm not really completely sure why they've put this behind a paywall, and it's not like it's really low. Well, it is kind of low for 288 clues, I understand, but 288 echoes? It's quite a lot, actually. I would have expected them to put it for at least 60 echoes or something like that. But hey, I don't really understand what NetEase is doing anymore. Along with the Valentine's event, you're also now able to purchase in the store the blue version of the Rose Cane that is an accessory for Ripper. I believe I made a mistake last time, and I haven't completely managed to confirm this, but I said last time that the red cane does let you attack, and the blue cane doesn't let you attack. I'm not completely sure if that is true. Some people have said that that's not true, other people say it is true. So I'm just going to say that I'm not completely sure if the red one even permits you to attack in the first place, but the blue definitely doesn't let you do it. So be wary that if you use this accessory, you do lose the ability to be able to hit survivors whilst you're holding someone. Something that came along as well is the movie buff treasure hunt. That is something that happens occasionally. I don't completely understand these events. I'm not really sure what their point is or what they're really for. But you can get some different skins and stuff from this, from participating in this event, where you have to spend sealing wax to be able to unlock the movie buff treasure hunt event. And then if you spend more sealing wax that will slowly increment per prize that you receive, you can receive up to 10 different prizes, of which some of them are kind of A-tier skins, I believe, from previous essences. To be able to get the sealing wax, you do need to spend echoes. So I'm not really sure why they just have to, it's confusing to me. We didn't get any adjustments for any battle adjustments. Nobody got buffed, nobody got nerfed, no adjustments to any maps or anything like that. That is kind of sad, but we did get quite a lot of bug fixes. I think some of them came along with the SS skin and of course some other things. I haven't actually had a good read through the bug fixes, so I don't know if there's anything that stands out. Something that I think is kind of funny was that last week they also announced what Season 20's rank rewards will actually do, the effects and so on. And I made a joke not too long ago about the accessory for Enchantress being like an ability where she can jump on top of a hunter and start stabbing them, and I wasn't completely wrong actually, because this is what the accessory does. It makes a knife effect that stabs the hunter and stuns them. That is bizarre. What can we expect from the next update, or this week I guess you could say? We have Season 20, and this is really interesting because Season 20 is finally here, a big number. There's been 20 seasons of Identity 5. With this season, we're getting the forward S tier skin, that is the speed skating skin. We're getting the A tier skin for Breaking Wheel and for Perfumer. Gelato is the one for Wheel, and Figure Skating is the one for Perfumer. I'm really looking forward to the Breaking Wheel skin. Of course, we're also getting Season 20's Logic Path unlocked, and this means we're getting the skin for Axe Boy, that is this cool snowman ice skating kind of version skin of him, and it looks really fantastic. And we're getting all of the different rewards from the Logic Path as well, that are of course themed to this skin for Axe Boy. That includes his accessory, his portrait, and his portrait frame, I believe. As I just mentioned before, we are also going to be getting the rank rewards. That is an S tier accessory for Entomologist that has some really beautiful effects that make kind of gold butterflies appear over anything that she vaults, I believe. It leaves some pink goo that is technically honey, but you know, it's goo on the windows when she vaults them instead of the usual yellow. And it gives her like golden wings when she's pushing herself with the butterflies as far as, or the bees, you know, whatever. Of course, the Enchantress one that has the stabbing effect. And I can't remember what the one for Sculptor does. I can't remember if I even paid attention to that one, but I still really hope that it puts dresses on the statues. If it doesn't, I'd be incredibly disappointed. Continuing the Valentine's Day event, we've also got a Valentine's creative contest that is happening, I think, on Twitter and possibly also on Instagram as well, that it has a deadline of March 14th. This is where you can actually win some prizes by posting some art, some illustrations, under the hashtag of Identity5 Valentine's Day. There will be 2 different prizes. The best work, that I guess will be judged by Netties themselves, will be getting a random S tier costume. I don't know if they meant random, if it's just a mistranslation, or if they meant to say like a S tier costume of your choice. But having a random S tier costume would also be kind of cool from the store. Also, if you are the most popular work, so I guess the one with the most amount of likes, then you will receive $100 in Amazon gift card money. So make sure if you're an artist, I know a lot of the community is, that you go over to there and start doing your drawings for the Identity5 Valentine's Day event, because I think you guys could do it. You guys are very skilled. Something that's not directly in the game, but will actually affect the game as a whole, is the online qualifiers for North America and Europe. That is the NAEU server, of course. And finally, we're getting to see which of our teams, that is, you know, all our competitive teams will be going to the World Finals COA 5. I'm super excited. This will be happening on the 18th to the 20th. So that's going to be really cool. Tell me down below who you're rooting for and who you think is going to win in the online qualifiers. And if you guys are part of any of these teams, well, I wish you guys so much luck. How about we move into some leaks and some rumors? Well, it looks like Smiley Face is getting an adjustment, and currently I believe he is in the test server right now. So NetEase is testing out to see if it's balanced or not. And this adjustment is that if his dash is interrupted, his cooldown will be shortened. So if he gets kind of interrupted whilst he's in his dash, depending on how much time I think he was in the dash, he will get some of that percentage back in his cooldown. So it could be shortened by 50%, for example, if he's cut halfway through his dash. This is really, really exciting for Smiley Face, because this was something that was one of his weaknesses, because a lot of stun characters could just counter his dashing ability. Another adjustment that he got, there's again in a buff, is he's getting his parts attachment time, that, you know, it's how long it takes him to attach a piece to his rocket that modifies his rocket, is going to be decreased by 33%. So that's much faster again. I'm still surprised it's not faster than that. Smiley Face is also going to have an ability now where he can see all of the rocket pieces that are around him, as long as they are within 24 meters of his body. And they've also slightly improved the picking up logic of this, of picking up the parts. It's just if you walk over them. So this is really cool. It's really cool to see Smiley Face getting an adjustment, because I know that there are some really good Smiley Face players on our server, and this is going to make him probably a little bit more viable now. I really want to test him out because I do have fun whenever I play him, but I do see his weaknesses. Doctor is getting a buff and slightly bit of a nerf as well. I think her nerf is very situational and is not going to be used, and can't be used technically in rank at all. So Doctor is getting the buff of when she takes some chip damage. By this I mean 0.25 of her full health, so that is something like a statue from Sculptor. She will now get a 65% speed boost for 2 seconds, and this does stack with Veteran. So Veteran is when she gets hit, she also gets an extra speed boost. I think it's of 50 or 60%, I can't remember what it is. So she can just zoom away, probably get halfway across the map before the hunters even recovered from the attack. Her nerf, that is only if there are multiple doctors in the same match, is that her healing speed is going to be reduced. Originally, it was 60% just flat out, even if there were 4 doctors in the same match. But this time they've changed it, so if there's 1, it's 60% faster. If there are 2 doctors, then it's going to be 25% instead of 60, so that's much, much, much slower. 10% if there are 3, and only 5% faster healing speed if there are 4 doctors. This is a good nerf for a quick match, but it's not often that you see multiple doctors in the same match. At least more than 2 is kind of surprising and weird. Seer is also getting a bit of a nerf, but only in the same way that Doctor is, in the way that if there are multiple Seers, how long his owl will last once he's used it is going to be much, much shorter. This is going to be good, I would say, in things like duo hunters mode and stuff like that. Maybe that's what the Doctor nerf is for as well. The owl duration is going to be shortened from 15, 10 and 5. That was what it was originally, you know, depending on if there were 3, 4, so on, to 8, 6, 4. So that is a big change, at least for the first owl, I think. Let's move on to the talk in the manor, where I respond to you guys' comments on my recent videos. The comment on my Q&A video was by Techno Knight, who says, "Is the game really survivor-sided? I know that the sentiment is thrown around a lot, but it feels more emotional than logical." Then goes on to talk about how Cypher Rush is something that is a bit of a problem, and that early game is very important for a hunter, because if they do really well in the early game, then sometimes they can completely destroy the survivors. But if they don't do very well, or they do mediocre at the beginning of the match, then the rest of the match usually goes pretty bad for them. And I agree with you, Technite. As for the game being really survivor-sided or hunter-sided, I'm not completely sure, and this is something that I think NetEase needs to give us stats for. Even if they came out straight away and just said, oh, the game is survivor-sided, the game is hunter-sided, we can't really take that information as being useful because they aren't giving us the stats. But there is a lot of player base that is just casual players, and again, that are in completely different tiers just because they got carried there. Also, you've got to remember that a lot of people are playing characters for the very first time, so we need to see what the stats are like in the higher tiers, and we also need to contrast that with people who play this game often, and so on. Pinkie Pile, I don't know how you read that, says, "I've been crying about ping for a while. NetEase gave me a response, a real one this time, other than check your phone and data. They said that they'll look and work on the optimization. I'm sure they began to take awareness and put it to the heart, but hopefully they'll fix it." I'm pretty sure that NetEase knows of the ping issue, but they have recently kind of fixed some of the ping issues, at least on my end, and a lot of people have said that their ping's a little bit better than it was at least a month or so ago, because it was a terrible issue with ping right then. But still, ping is not amazing, and of course there is a limit to how much they can do on our end here in Europe, but in North America I think there are also some issues where people are just having terrible ping, and that should not be the case. But it's good that they have announced finally that they're looking into it and not just saying check your phone and data. That is true in some very, very kind of weird situations, but in most cases that is not true and useful at all. On my shorts video, Via Pinate says, "Bruh, patroller called Feaster Dada, and then hold on to Lucky calling him Mama? What is this?" This is the new Identity 5 canon. Do you think that Smiley Face's adjustment will be coming to the game, and are you excited to see if Smiley Face actually becomes a character that is played more often? Tell me down in the comments below, and whilst you're down there, remember to like and subscribe to make sure you get more news every single week about Identity 5. Have a great day, guys. Bye bye.